Frank Foley was born on 24 November 1884 in a two-up, two-down terraced house close to the railway station in the small Somerset town of Highbridge. His father, Andrew Wood Foley, was from Tiverton in Devon, but had moved first to Swindon to take a job on the Great Western Railway, working as an engine fitter in the company's locomotive works. It was here that he met and married Isabella Turnbull, a local girl of Scottish extraction, and where their first two children, Andy and Bert, were born. Sometime around 1883, the Foleys and their two young sons arrived in Highbridge. Andrew Wood Foley was to be one of the 250 workers at the extensive locomotive works, which the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway Company had just built to maintain their blue-engined locomotives. The family lived at 7 Walrow Terrace, one of a row of terraced houses built for the railway workers, and it was here, little more than a year after their arrival in Highbridge, that Isabella gave birth to her third son, christening him Francis Edward. By the time he started school, his parents had had 2 more children, George and Margaret, Isabella's longed-for daughter and the youngest member of the family. Highbridge lay at the mouth of the river Brue in the center of an area of reclaimed marshland known as the Somerset Levels, which extended for many miles inland and was frequently flooded during the autumn and winter. The levels were crisscrossed by long, narrow drainage ditches known locally as rhines. By the late 19th century, the town was dominated by the railway, which served a long, narrow harbor at which coasters from South Wales unloaded cargoes of coal and iron, replacing them with local timber, bricks, corn, cider, and cheddar and Caerphilly cheese. The Foleys' home faced west, looking out across open meadows towards the Bristol-Exeter line of the rival Great Western Railway. There were no houses on the opposite side of Walrow Terrace, just a bulrush-lined Rhine that flowed underneath the main road to Wells before skirting around the locomotive works and draining into the River Brue, about 100 yards south of the Foley house. About the same distance to the north was Pitt's Brickyard, the other major contributor to the local economy. Isabella Foley was a devout Catholic and insisted that all her children be sent to St. Joseph's Roman Catholic School in Burnham, run by Les Dames de la Retraite, a French order of nuns. It was here that the young Frank acquired a devotion to the church, telling his parents that when he grew up, he wanted to be a priest. For some reason, at the age of 9, Frank changed schools. Possibly his father had become concerned that the nuns were having an undue influence on his children. His daughter Margaret, who would eventually become Mother Superior of a convent school in Bristol, already harbored childhood ambitions of becoming a nun, while Frank was always the favorite son, the clever child on whom he pinned his hopes for the future. Whatever the explanation, Frank was taken out of St. Joseph's and placed in St. John's Church of England Elementary School on the border between Highbridge and Burnham. Andrew Wood Foley had grown up in poverty and was determined to improve the lot of both himself and his family, and had ambitions for Frank. His son had the ability to make something of his life. He should not waste it on the church. But Isabella was clearly equally determined that if her son wanted to become a priest, he should get his chance. Nor had the nuns forgotten their young protégé. They arranged for him to go to Stonyhurst College, a Jesuit-run school in Lancashire, and then, at the age of 14, Frank was sent to the French city of Poitiers, to a Jesuit seminary, Collège Saint-Joseph, to be trained as a missionary.